Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. In War of the Visions, let's do an equipment guide. I guess I'll call this my advanced equipment guide to go with my beginner equipment guide from months ago. And then this will have a focus on crafting. And just to get ahead of it, I'm going to announce I'm not going to make a video about recommended equipment or like recommended types. I'm here to give you information to make good choices, not to tell you which choices to make. But I was waiting for when Global got the equipment type selection update, because before this update I felt like crafting wasn't really worth getting into. I've been collecting the recipes and the materials and stuff, of course, but I haven't really made anything. But also there's just so much to say that I kind of don't want to make this video. But I'm going to take one for the team. I'm doing this for you too. But equipment is very important, and it can end up being the #1 thing that you spend time and energy on, maybe even more than leveling your guys. In JP, I finally made the gold armor +5, and that took days, and I hated it. Generally, I don't do anything +5 because it's ridiculous how much work it takes. But that gold armor was for my Sasayaki, and I'll do almost anything for her. Next, I might make a +5 helm or mithril armor or something, but I'm not looking forward to it. But where to start? I guess I can just craft some stuff and see what springs to mind. I did craft one thing before the update, and that was this golden axe for my Yeruma. We can see these stats here. These are like the main stats, and then there's a stat on the right and then a stat on the left. The right is the potential max value, so this golden axe could have 169 attack. The left is the current value, so this axe that I have, it actually has 167 attack. And then as we raise the main level here, the stats on the left will go up little by little. So I have a hero's ring here. Let's raise a level. Let's look at those stats go up. Alright, enhance. Okay, so HP got +1. But if we get a piece of equipment up to level 50, you're still not guaranteed to get the max potential. So as you can see, my attack and magic here, they're a little bit shy of max. The reason for that is because as you raise the main level here, you will get random amount of stats to random stats. And so if you were to make like 50 golden axes to level 50, some of them would be maxed in certain stats, some of them would not be. But we can encourage which stats get the increase by using seals. Let's go back to the Brave Ring, or Hero's Ring. Okay, let's raise a level, and then I can toss in the seals in order to kind of concentrate the chances of stats up on those different parameters. And then as you raise one level, you can add one of the seals. And then if you raise 10 levels at once, then you can add 10 seals of 3 different types. And then really you want to use as many seals as you can with every level up that you do, just to kind of give yourself a better chance at getting max stats at the end when you're at level 50. And then before, when I showed off my equipment in my JP account, a viewer pointed out that some of my equipment was not fully leveled up. It was like level 20 or 30, and they asked me why. The reason for that is because I didn't have enough seals to get the better stats as I leveled them, so I was waiting until I got more seals. You really do want to wait for that before you level a piece of equipment that's pretty important to you. But let's go back to the golden axe again. When a stat is maxed, it can no longer be raised any higher, of course. So when you raise more levels and then, random stats get different numbers, those other stats will have a greater chance of getting some numbers raised. So it can be beneficial to max a stat, any stat, as early as you can. And then here I guess we can talk about hammers. Go back to Brave Ring. Alrighty, so we have hammers here. This one will raise accuracy, this one will raise critical, evade, HP, and so on. And hammers can be used at any time while you are in the process of leveling a piece of equipment. And they just raise it by a particular amount, so accuracy, I can raise that by 1, critical, raise that by 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, it's just 1 for 1. And then there's kind of like two schools of thought of how to use these hammers. One way is to raise the levels of the different stats once you get to level 50, just so that you can make up the gap between the final actual stat value and the potential max value. So Golden Axe again. If I wanted to, I could use an attack axe in order to max that. I could also do that with magic. I'm not going to because it's not worth it to me to use those two. But if I had attack of like only 140 or something, once I got it to level 50, then I could use the attack axes, get that closer to 169. The other school of thought for using hammers is to use them before you start leveling, because then you can essentially eliminate a stat. So here if I give evade, that would max out evade, I could give another accuracy, and so that would max those stats and quote-unquote eliminate them. And so my chances of getting HP or critical when I raise levels would go way, way up. The downside of using hammers ahead of time, of course, is that you will get fewer hammers to use at the end in order to catch up if there is a gap. Okay, so I think that covers leveling, seals, and hammers. But forget about all that for a moment, because there's something to consider doing beforehand, and that is making a plus value equipment. Equipment with a plus value gets a bonus stat. Here we can see my Golden Axe plus 2. Because I got it to plus 2, it has a slash attack plus 3. And then the higher the plus value up here, the higher the bonus stat is going to be down here. And then the bonus value for plus 5 equipment is significantly higher than plus 4. It might even be like twice. So ideally you would want to go for plus 5 in order to get the greatest bonus, but again, that's a ton of work and materials. But to make a plus 5, you have to fuse together 2 plus 4s. To make a plus 4, you have to fuse together 2 plus 3s, and so on. One question that a lot of people have is it plus 5 or die? I don't think so. Lots of people are saying, plus 5 or go home. I craft most of my stuff, even in my JP account, to just plus 2, because that's the highest plus value that I can get without having to awaken any of fusing materials. I know some people are tearing their hair out looking at my plus 2, but this is where I'm comfortable, and I have a lot more free time than those people. But yeah, not a lot of work. You only need 7 recipes, and then you still get a little bit of a bonus stat. Of course, you can still level it to level 50 and then get the basic stats here. That will not change no matter what kind of plus value it has. But once in a while I will go for plus 5, usually when the bonus stat makes a significant difference, like for evade equipment. Hats are a good example. Let's see. Oh, the wizard's hat, for example. In this case, you can get the dodge type, and then you can get evade up to 12, and then the bonus stat is also evade, and then they'll stack with each other. So that's a instance where getting the bonus plus ability is really beneficial, because it will help with the main objective also. Also evade related are the accessories, so Hero's Ring or the Fairy Ring. I can recommend making the plus 5 of them. You can take it slow, little by little. But yeah, this will not give you a lot of evade like a base stat, but it will give you a bonus stat. So if you have a Trustmaster, which gives you just this base evade, you can give him the Hero's Ring +5 in order to get the bonus evade again, so that those will stack together. And then also with those 2 rings, if all you care about is the evade, you don't care about the Brave bonus or the Silence resistance, you can actually leave them at level 1, and you'll still get that full evade bonus. For me personally, if I go to +5, it'll always be on armor or accessories, not weapons. It's just the way that I play. I like tanks and strong defenses, so that's what I concentrate on. Okay, so there we talked about plus values and bonus stats there. But before you consider that, there's another thing to think about first, and that's the equipment type. I spoke about that briefly. But when you craft a piece of equipment, it gets a randomly chosen equipment type. So for the Hero's Ring, this is a critical, so the max critical available will be higher than other types of Hero's Rings. We'll look at the other one. This is Aim. So the critical, it was 6 before, it's 1 here. 1 is the max critical here, but this will have higher accuracy. And then in all, there are 8 types of equipments, and then each equipment will have like, 3-4 different types that you can select from, and then you can aim for the one that you like. But we can look at some other zeros. Here's a Lionheart replica that is Assault, Magic, and Aim. So yeah, Aim has a max 17 accuracy, but the attack and magic will not be as high as, say, the magic one, magic of 53. So depending on who you're thinking of equipping it on, you can get the better stat for them. In most cases, choosing types for weapons is pretty straightforward. You want to go for Assault or Critical for physical attackers, Magic for mages, of course, and then Dodge for evade builds. But what do you do when there's no type that really seems to fit a unit for a certain piece of equipment? Which type should you go for? An example would be an accessory on a tank. When in doubt, I would say go for Aim, especially when equipment has such low stats otherwise that they will most likely not be counted, like a vital type equipment that will only give you 100 HP. Aim can still be high enough that it will be counted, and then pretty much everybody likes Aim, even like tanks and stuff. Okay, finally, let's talk about do-overs, and then there's 2 ways to do that. One is to reset, and then there's a button up here. If you do this, the level will go down to 1, so this will go from 50 to 1. And you want to do this if you level it to 50 and you didn't get the rolls on the stats that you wanted. I don't like doing this because you get nothing back. You don't get any of the lost adamantite, you don't get any of the lost seals, and I sure hope you didn't use any hammers because you won't get those back either. For me, 99 times out of 100, I won't do this because I don't care enough to redo it for the missing 10% or something. Just because it's so much work, getting those seals in particular. But for some people it will be worth it, so that's something to keep in mind. And then the other way is to break down plus equipment. So down here we'll go to Dismantle, and then I can break down, let's break down this Kunai 1. And then if I break this down, I get back the 2, Kunai plus zeros, plus the materials that it costs to fuse those 2 together. So I like this better than resetting. And actually, when I was crafting the golden armor in JP, I ran out of materials like those green faces, and so actually I went back and then I dismantled a bunch of other stuff that I made. Not for really any reason. I made it just to make it, but I was able to break them down, get a lot of green faces from there, and then I was able to build up the gold armor. So that's a way that you can use that. Okay, and to end this video, let's craft some stuff. I said I was going to do it earlier in the video, but we'll go ahead and do it now. But let's see. I definitely want to make the cat claws. That is for my Giza, so I have enough materials for one. I don't have quite enough Marlboro tentacles, but just to show how it looks, I can choose from the different types. I think I want to do Assault with her. She's still a good attacker. She can get over like 2,000 damage, and that's even with the N rarity equipment. So this would be quite an update for her. But yeah, let's choose Assault. Excellent. And then what else do I want? Yeah, let's make a Lionheart. I've been waiting to do this ever since the release of the game, basically. Here too, I think I want Assault. Yes. Okay, excellent. I don't have the Lionheart at all in JP actually, so I'm very excited to get that here. Let's make one more +1. It doesn't matter what this is, we'll just go for magic. Okay. And we'll go back to the main screen, and then let's level up those +1s to level 10. Don't want to use seals here yet. Okay. And then the next one, we will upgrade this to 10 as well. Okay, and then we can make the +2. Excellent. Assault. Okay, and that is as high as I'm going to go with the Lionheart replica. But yeah, potential max attack of 168. That'll blow my Excalibur out of the water, so that is excellent. And then I get the slash attack up here, so that's good. And let's see what else I want to make. Let's make the Nagnarok. I think it's worth getting both the Assault and the Magic, but I don't have anybody, I think, that wants the Magic Nagnarok, so I'll just make an Assault now. And I have a bunch of the recipes. I don't remember why. I must have farmed that a lot, but yeah, let's do that. Also, these collaboration weapons, they're not as expensive to craft as just like the regular stuff, so that's pretty nice. And I'll do magic here, why not? Okay, same deal here, let's level these up. Okay. Okay, we'll craft the +2. Go for Assault. Mont is going to be happy about this. Alright, I think that will do it for this video. So have as much fun with crafting as you can. Maybe the better message is to say don't let it get you down. If +5 is awful and you hate it like I do, and you want to quit the game because of it, then just stop crafting +5 equipment. Maybe go for +2 or something. That's what I do. Alright, thanks for watching and we'll see you again. Take care.